Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Two Guys, Two Beers podcast. I'm your host today, Phantom, and I'm with my co-host today,
Max Q.
How are you doing today, Max?
Pretty good, other than this rain. Fucking rain.
Have you checked on your house in Denver?
No, I have not. My neighbors haven't called me, so I'm going to assume everything's alright.
That's great. Yeah, you got a little rain in Savannah. It rains a lot here. Plus, with the hurricane that just hit, all that rain has went all over Georgia. Yeah. Leaving 2.1 million people without power at the moment. We updated this right before the podcast. But a Category 2 hurricane named Zeta hit Louisiana last night. And it left a lot of people without power, over 2.5 million. But they got it down to 2.1 million since the making of this podcast.
Yeah, did you see the Hard Rock Hotel? It got like torn to pieces.
Yeah.
I was just like, holy shit. I mean, like, can you believe that? Like, I mean, that should have been a well-built building.
I mean, they had the maximum speed of the hurricane that's 85 miles per hour.
Gusts were over 100.
Yeah, but then it was a Category 2. Now it's a tropical storm, leaving out by Washington, D.C., by Philadelphia.
It was a quick mover.
I mean, it's a Category 2, but I just thought it was crazy that how strong are these hurricanes? Because I know most hurricanes, once they hit touch and land, it's pretty much dead, and these hurricanes pretty much stay alive after touching land. I'm just like, yeah, we strong enough.
Yeah, I mean, most of them usually sustain a certain amount of wind, usually like 50s, 60s.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. It went from Louisiana. It's not like it's another ocean that's catching up water on. It's Louisiana all the way up to, like, Philadelphia area.
You know, it'd be kind of cool.
What?
See a flying alligator. Like, if you're just chilling, looking out your window, next thing you know, an alligator just flew by.
You know, it'd be cooler if the alligator crashed into your window.
Oh, that's not funny.
Okay. Why would a flying alligator be cool?
Because I think it would be cool. Or, like, seeing a shark just, like, zip past you.
So
like, if you lived on the coastline.
You watch too many Sharkpedo movies.
Sharknado.
Yeah, whatever it's called. But
yes, I used to have a stoner friend that loved those. I hated it. I'm just like, all right, I feel like I'm getting dumb watching these.
Wait till you watch well, no, it was one that called. Yeah, I think you said it. Sharknado. The tornado that did sharks, and I was like, no. And then they made like a 5-part series to that.
Yeah, I'm well aware. Well aware.
I was like, how's it still going? And people are still watching it.
I think all these stoners.
I think they're gonna come out with a 6th one.
I mean, it honestly wouldn't surprise me. I mean, you think about all the states that it's legal to smoke weed. I mean, people that smoke weed usually love to watch really stupid movies.
I can't wait to Georgia get legal.
I mean, think about all. I mean, we've talked about it before. You know, sitting there talking about all the old movies like Half Baked and stuff like that. Like, you can't watch that kind of stuff without being high.
Definitely not.
It's not the same.
Even some early Al Sandler movies, without me, when I was watching it the first time, it was funny. But now watching it, it's boring. But then watching it high made it back funny again.
Yeah.
That happens to a lot of movies now. Like, I rewatch it, I'm like, this wasn't funny. Like, I remember. Then I watch it high, I'm like, this is a lot funnier like I thought it was.
Yeah, very true, very true. But yeah, no, it was a pretty bad hurricane. I seen some of the news stories and stuff where I'd seen a lot of the damage. Like, there was one newscaster and she was standing there beside a house, and like, I'm assuming the house fell into the basement. It was like sitting at like a 45-degree angle. I was just like, holy shit.
I mean, I've seen trees. My friend, she stayed in front of a like, you know how in an apartment complex, it's the road before you go to the apartments. Yeah. So a big tree fell on the road leaving the apartment complex. So literally, everybody in the apartment complex had to call out of work, and it was like a long line of people. Like, literally, the only way you could walk, like, you had to duck underneath the tree, which didn't look safe to begin with, but people was doing it, and pretty much walk to the other side. Nobody's car was like, because the way the tree fell was like just low enough where it could damage your car, but it was just high enough where you could walk underneath.
That's whenever it comes in handy to be a redneck.
And do what? Get your truck and pull it out the way?
Hell yeah. Most rednecks have chainsaws too.
I mean, it was at the apartment, so I don't think you would just have a chainsaw just lying around at your apartment.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd actually probably be surprised. Person there probably was just like, hey, if I don't have to go to work, shit.
I mean, I feel like I feel like if that happened in my apartment, I would be like, look at God. He don't want me to go to work today.
Yeah, but you got 2 entrances, so you're pretty much fucked.
If one entry block, I'm just going to call my boss and say, family can't make it today. Our entry blocked. My boss don't know where I say it.
Yeah, all right. I guess you got a point there.
And I would just take a photo and send it to him. I just can never invite him over here, because if I ever invite him over here, he'd be like, hey, don't you got 2 entries? So why did you? Don't worry about it.
All right, start catching that interruption.
Pretty much. Well, he ain't going to do nothing. He really won't care. But I pray for all the families. So far, it's only 5 confirmed dead.
That's more than the last time I looked at it. Earlier, whenever I looked at it, I think it's at 3.
I mean,
you're probably right. You probably read it.
No, I read it just before the podcast, but I'm saying this is crazy. I'm glad it's so little people that died, but I feel like the number's going to get higher as the time go by.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember all the old people that don't have a family and stuff like that. It might take a little bit of time for them to find.
I mean, my only question is, what happened to all the homeless people when stuff like this happen?
Yeah, I've always wondered that myself. I'm going to assume most of them just go to the shelters. They open up before the hurricanes.
Good point.
Or the cities probably, like a lot of the cops and stuff will actually take homeless people places and stuff. At least I know where I come from, they do that. Like, especially during the winter and stuff like that. Whenever it gets towards nighttime, the cops will pick them up, or one of the city workers will actually pick them up and take them to a church or something like that.
I mean, that's nice, because I always wonder, like, when big storms like this happen, like hurricanes, tornadoes, stuff like that, like, what happened to the homeless? Like, where do they go to get help?
I mean, you got to remember, some people don't want the help, though. So I'm sure there are probably some people that don't ever make it through it because of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a sad fact of life.
I mean, the sad part is people, like, they don't have no family, nothing, but become homeless. Like, I'm pretty sure they won't count you as dying. They'd be like, we don't know if you're alive or dead anyway.
Yeah. That's really sad.
Well, we got another sad story about how a 7-year-old and a bus driver died due to a utility truck swerve in front of them and struck
the bus head on. So,
I mean, 5 other people that was injured on the bus and 22 people that was on the bus at the time. This is fucked up to say, but if it was my kid, I'd act like he was injured too.
What, for the money?
Yes. But I just feel sorry for, like, this. You gotta think about it. As a driver, it was nothing he could have really did, like somebody just swerve in front of you, heads on at the last moment. And then as the 7-year-old kid, like, your whole life is in front of you. And you pretty much just died in a car accident, because I feel like the driver of the utility vehicle, probably his phone dropped and he was trying to pick it up or something stupid. I already know it's something stupid.
Oh, I'm sure that it was. But yeah, I know the pictures are pretty gruesome.
Yeah, the whole complete front end of the school bus was wrecked in. And then as a driver, I mean, what can you really do? Because you try to turn the bus. The bus is a big bus, so he hit the rear end and then ripped the bus in half. More people be dead or injured. And, like, I'm just thinking, like, as a driver last moment, like, what is he thinking about? Like, what can he really do? Because the bus is pretty big, so you can't really move that fast.
I didn't really get to see, like, the whole road that it was on, but, I mean, depending on exactly how much time took place in between, I mean, I'm sure, because, like, that's why a lot of truck drivers, whenever it comes down to it, they'll smash anything beside them instead of hitting you.
I mean, I didn't see what it looked like. To a certain extent, it looked like they was right there, like the next lane was, what's it called, like the where's the rocks and stuff, the grass.
The median.
Yeah, it was like a median, but, like, I don't think it was, because I seen trees and stuff. It looked like the utility vehicle ran into a tree, and it never said if the utility vehicle driver lived or not.
Yeah, I mean, they never really said what the utility vehicle was either.
I feel like it was a city, or hopefully it's not like, I already know it's not a big company, because if it's a big company, they would have said blah 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 company ran into a bus driver.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you never know though. I mean, you really don't. Like, I mean, I tried to look. I didn't see any logos, but that doesn't mean they weren't there.
I mean, they probably was there. The company probably just said, "Hey, can you take these off? Because we don't want them to show, and it's gonna look bad on our end."
Nah, I mean, I just feel bad for all those parents and stuff like that.
I mean, I just feel bad for the children because they don't feel like all that stuff for the rest of their life.
Yeah, I mean, that's why a lot of people have been trying to get buses to put seatbelts and stuff in for a long time. I mean, just a normal lap belt wouldn't work. I feel like they'd actually have to have like a 3-point harness or something like that, where whenever their shoulders into their crotch, that way they couldn't just escape out. 'Cause, I mean, whenever the bus rolls, I mean, the lap belt's not going to help.
Yeah, a lot of people get injured from them because they're a lot easier to flip over than people fly out the windows and stuff. Because I seen one bus crash, like, when it rolled, like, everybody, pretty much the only person that kind of survived was because the driver had a seatbelt on. But I remember some buses up north, some of them, like, they not the special ed buses. I know which buses some people are going to joke around and say. But some buses did have seatbelts on it. They just never told us to put them on.
No, the old school buses. I remember some of them did way back when I was probably in elementary school.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Got away with them.
Elementary school, we had the seat belts, but nobody wore them.
Those they claim that those are worse for you. They said it's actually better for you. Which, I mean, like I said, if the bus actually rolls, I mean, you're screwed anyway. You're just going to come right out that seat belt.
I mean, I'm trying to think of like the best option. I mean, technically, they just install regular seat belts like cars on the bus to assess that each, or do like the airplane type seatbelt.
I mean, that's just a lap belt, though. If anything, they need like racing seatbelts.
That's an option.
I feel like that'd be the best bet. And I mean, they could make them big enough because I know not everybody's built the same.
Oh no, they're gonna have to. We hope there's never gonna be an elementary school person that's 400 pounds. But I feel like you could do like the adult size and everybody be okay till you get to high school.
I mean, they should even have them in high school.
I mean, high school, I feel like high school you should have it, but high school is too many variations of like, do you want to get like the super 500-pound kid?
I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of will stop so many injuries and death happen when school buses get in a car accident.
I mean, did you see that kid the other day that actually stole a school bus and crashed it?
Wasn't he like 9?
He wasn't very old. I want to say he was under 10.
Yeah, I thought he was 9. I'm like, wow. Like, how did she get away with this? How did this even happen?
My question is, like, what are they going to do, really? I mean, he's not that old. I mean, they can't charge him as an adult.
I mean, they probably just going to do a mental evacuation of him because why did he think it was okay to do that? Slash, like, I feel like you have some type of mental issues just to be like, because as a little kid, I would never thought about like, hey, I just want to steal a school bus and drive.
Really? I mean, maybe not a school bus, but I mean, we totally took other stuff.
At 9 years old?
Yeah.
Well, that's...
I mean, I had an alcohol-powered go-kart.
No, when I was that age...
a specialty racing one.
That age, my bike was my world. Wherever I could go on my bike, that was where I was going.
Because, I mean, I used to play on logging skidders and all kinds of stuff. Four-wheelers, dirt bikes.
Well, that's different growing up in the city and growing up in the country. We didn't have that type of stuff. The best I had was a dirt bike. And when I got a little bit older, them little electric bikes, like the fake motorcycle, moped type looking thing.
Yeah.
My friends had it, so he let us ride it. But other than that, I really ain't have nothing.
Yeah, no, I gotta remember though. I also grew up working on a farm too from a really young age. So I mean, I grew up driving all kinds of stuff from corn planters to harvesters to pretty much you name it. I pretty much drove it, except for some military equipment.
You never know. I drove a Hummer before. Pretty cool. Roughest ride ever, but yeah, it's all right.
What, like an actual like H1 military edition?
Yeah.
I bet you that shit was rough.
Oh, it was super rough. After riding it, my whole back hurt. And then, like, it was weird to turn. It was a lot of weird stuff. It didn't go that fast. It was a lot of... It was...